So, hey guys, Chauzu here. The Kizuna clash is almost starting. Feels weird to say, but yeah, apparently it's starting one day earlier than usual, so just have to deal with it, I guess. But ahead of that, the biggest news for this Kizuna clash is that we're going to be getting a lot more Kizuna insignia than usual, which we can use to mainly buy skulls. And the biggest news is that most skulls are going to be discounted like Shiki and Katakuri are right now. But for next Kizuna, it's going to be tons of skulls, and you're basically going to be able to max out a lot of these legends, which will usually take a very, very long time. So this is a great opportunity for beginners mainly who don't have a lot of 6+. But yeah, then the question comes like what to prioritize. So that's what I thought I'd go through in this video. One thing I will say is that you can buy these normal skulls here, but as you see, they are more expensive. So never buy these skulls here if you are a beginner. The other place to buy them is the bazaar, which is unfortunate since there's other stuff you might want to buy here, like PvP materials or cola. Cola we have here at the bottom, also very valuable. But yeah, for beginners it might be some skulls, and like they are expensive here too, but for a beginner, Ray Bazaar points are just not as valuable as Kizuna insignia. So just throwing it out there. But yeah, let's go through the legends that are available for purchase. And we're talking the 6+, we take a look at them. Reminder that all of my legends have level limit break. Some will have different abilities if they are not fully level limit broken, so just keep that in mind. We might not look at all of them either, since there's quite a few. But yeah, from these, starting 5, lowest priority probably Zephyr. Not really usable in PvP. He's pretty much a meme in PvE, a funny meme since I love shooters. But the rest are pretty valuable. Kaido can do increased damage taken to full immunity, which is still not super common. Also pretty good in PvP on quick teams. Shanks, really cool. Even without level limit break, he's pretty solid. Can give you attack boost that can't be removed, for example, which is very nice. Sugar still sees use to today. Pretty good captain with level limit break, since if you use Sugar as a captain and use her special, especially if you run double Sugar, you get a 3-turn attack boost. Super type can give you a 3-turn ore boost, and you have the toy mechanic to ignore a lot of effects, which is pretty unique and gives a lot of shame. And then Stampede Luffy, which I also like, really cool captain that resists 2 debuffs in Despair and Paralysis. And cool special with 6+ and level limit break, removing attack down and chain debuffs. And also giving a lot of buffs to Stampede Luffy himself at a low CD. Moving on, this is the next batch, and the Blackbeard is probably pretty low priority, not very useful anymore. The others are pretty solid, like the Saba doesn't see a lot of use, but he's really good for Grand Voyage against, I think it's Luffy 2 it's called. Or, no, it's Smoker. Yeah, it's Smoker. Grand Voyage Smoker, Saba is pretty good against that. And the other 3 are just generally good, like Kid might be the worst of these, but he's pretty useful. I wouldn't call him a high priority though, like he can give you Super Bomb orbs that can't be changed. His captain ability lets you remove damage reduction when tapping with a Super Bomb. And his special can also remove thresholds, so sometimes he's pretty cool to use as captain. The other 2 are probably the best though. Chopper, one of the best utility units in the game, can also dupe Cotton Candy of course, which is nice. And then Ace with a 6+ becomes a lot better, because it goes from being a shooter fighter captain to also being an int captain. And since there's his special bind, special reverse, he's a very common captain to use, even for stuff like Pyro King Adventures and such. So yeah, he's really good. I also need to try and remember PvP for these units. Chopper is the only one that is close to usable here. And here it's Kaido and Sugar, basically. For this one, you can start with PvP. Doff is obviously great in PvP still. The others, not so much. Shiki is okay. Wouldn't call him a starter for quick though. As for Shiki, he's pretty cool. With his 6+, here's the spear. His special can reduce paralysis special bind, which he also resists special bind. Can lower HP, which can let you remove stun and such. So yeah, it's not too bad, Shiki. As for the others, I'd say the admirals are decently low priority. Okay, I guess Kuzuna is okay in PvP too, but I feel like most side-focused teams are free spirit nowadays, which Kuzan isn't. So I don't think he's the highest priority personally. Akainu even less, and none of them are that great in PvE. They both have an annoying mechanic where they can get double special, but it's really hard and not really viable in today's meta. So to say, you need to consume a lot of specific orbs, which is not really feasible. Karakuri, mainly good for the same ground arch as Sabo. Pretty solid unit overall for PvE. While Doff is great in both PvP and PvE, had a bit of resurgence. Even pretty cool as captain, another despair resisting captain. And he's still used today for overkill. And now with Kill and Law existing, you can use him even if there's normal attacks only, which is really cool. Moving on, if we start with PvP here, Brook and Jack, and kinda Pudding. Like Pudding was used in my infamous Cerebral team that got me banned in the Grand Party. Otherwise, she's not really meta, but I like her in PvP. Jack and Brook are a bit more common though, but I feel like Jack is starting to fall off, and Brook is Dex, so Dex is pretty relevant right now. He's not like the best Dex either. Brook is really cool though, like we have B-Bro beating every Pyro King Avenger with him as captain, still very unique with the revive. I also like him as a unit overall. Like his revive is a bit different from Gear 5 Luffy, which some have used. You can use Brook to remove like everything placed on you, including normal attacks only, which is really useful. But he has a very low attack multiplier, 4.25 times. I also like the special that does a lot of different things. Both healing, damage reduction, adding damage, stuff like that. Yak, useless in PvE, not much else to say. Pudding, really good in PvE. I'd say she's a pretty high priority, very low CD. With level limit break as well, she can remove 3 turns behind the spear, and she basically has double special, so that's 6 turns. And she can stack buffs. And the cool thing is that when you unstack the buffs, when you bring them out again, they can't be interrupted, so if the boss says you can't use attack boost, you can still use Pudding. But not only that, if it's a 1-turn attack boost, it becomes a 2-turn attack boost. That's a very cool, unique thing. Carrot, also pretty cool. She can captain swap for 3 stages now. And still see some use since there's not a lot of units that ignore defensive effects. Also has a better captain multiplier. So definitely worth owning over the 6+. 6-star has a very small advantage that you only swap for 1 turn, which is sometimes preferable. And then we have Sabo, who is a side grade, so optimally own both, but the 6+ is better. Can reduce attack down now, and like the 6-star does Ore Boost and Chain Lock, 6+ does attack boost and chain multiplier and a chain boost, so a bit different that way. Not the highest priority though, I'd say. Like of these, I'd say Carrot and Pudding highest priority. Moving on, we have the only 6+ that isn't a Super Sugo that has no level limit break. Yeah, there's literally no level limit break here. Nope. Which is cool since I haven't even maxed the level limit break. I didn't notice. That's pretty funny. But yeah, Still a pretty cool unit with their 6+. One thing they added to the 6+ is that they can change block orbs, which is nice. And yeah, you can also get a 3-turn orb boost, which is useful. And then when they become captain, they also have rainbow damage, which is useful. Don't see that much use nowadays, but since they are probably getting a level Olympic at some point, they're probably going to be pretty good after that, I'd say. As for PvP, Cracker, still pretty decent. Use on Slasher, which is one of the best teams if you have Ashok. Hiyori, or the Komu, V1 Komurasaki, pretty cool. Defensive unity PvP, also used it on my Incerebral team, I think. As for the rest, like there's some low priority stuff here, like Mihawk and Nami, like very low priority, I'd say. Don't see much use at all. Yerma right now not high priority either. Here is a very unique unit though. Like your captain lets you get more berry, but we have more captains doing that now, so it's a bit less useful. And then the special is very cool since you can get one orbs, you can remove barrier, get a big attack and orb boost, like she has a really good special. And then Cracker lets you get 3-turn buffs instead of 2 basically, which is a lot better. So yeah, I can recommend Cracker as well. I feel like my hair is living its own life right now. The final non-duo units, and yeah, pretty meh. Best here definitely Ray League. Blackbeard is the best in PvP, Ray League is okay in PvP, the others are not that important. Sanji, basically no reason to invest in him. Zoro, pretty good for 2 Grand Voyages, but nothing except for that. Ray League, definitely a unit that is a high priority, he's incredibly good with his 6+. Especially if you're having level limit break max, so you can use another special together with him. And then Blackbeard, outside of PvP, is pretty meh, all things considered. Duo units are a bit more expensive, and I think they require a normal skull as well most of the time. Most of them are worth getting though, like Marco Whitebeard are basically Grand Voyage gods. They're great for several Grand Voyages. Sanji Yaj might be a bit of a lower priority, also good for a Grand Voyage. But other than that, doesn't see super much use. Shang's Crew though, still universally used in a tons of content, Treasure Map, Hurricane Adventures, whatever. Grand Voyage as well. So they are definitely a high priority. Can resist special bonus captain, can do end of turn damage to bypass resilience, base attack boost or call affinity, and together with that you can get a long chain lock, which is pretty useful. Finally, Barto Cavendish, pretty low priority. Can't recommend them honestly. Luffy Ace has some use, but you really want them level limit break, or they are a lot more limiting. Robin and Nami, super high priority. Cat Dog as well. They are some of the most used duo units, so I do recommend them a lot. So yeah, that's all of the discounted units for Kizuna. So yeah, just try and get all of the insignia, and then just I recommend probably to use them up on these discounts for the future. Obviously there are some skulls that are not discounted, like Gear 5 Luffy, so if you want to spend some of it on him, like that's up to you. I can't say that's a bad idea, but as much as possible, try and use it on the discounted ones, and that's like a life lesson in general for a new beginner, because eventually everything will be discounted. So. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.